Hey, welcome again to my channel. Gonna speak a little bit about the Trump's deep state hit list, and right-wing influencers are convinced that Dr. Anthony Fauci is working with Hillary Clinton to undermine Donald Trump. Of course, that's no surprise. So let's talk about the deep state again. With all this lockdown, this coronavirus stuff, it is kind of crazy with what's happening. People are getting antsy. People are getting kind of tired of all this happening. You're seeing different things kind of go on. Stores are closing down. Stores are limiting people. So let's go ahead and approach the Trump's deep state hit list. Let's go to the memos. The Jesse Liu memo, before withdrawing the nomination for former D.C. U.S. Attorney for top Treasury role, the president reviewed a memo of Liu's alleged misdeeds, according to the source with direct knowledge. And a well-connected network of conservative activists with closest ties to Trump and top administration officials is quietly helping develop these never Trump, pro-Trump lists, and some sent memos to Trump to shape his views, per sources with direct knowledge. Members of this network include Jenny Thomas, the wife of Supreme Court Justice Clarence Thomas, and Republican Senate staffer Barbara Ladine. The big picture: since Trump's Senate acquittal, aides say the president has crossed a psychological line regarding what he calls the deep state. He feels his government, from justice to state to defense to homeland security, is filled with snakes. He wants them fired and replaced ASAP. And of course, this is a positive development. Says Rich Higgins, who served on Trump's National Security Council. H.R. McMaster removed Higgins after he wrote a memo speculating that Trump's presidency faced threats from Marxists, the deep state, so-called globalist bankers, Islamists, and establishment Republicans. Get that, establishment Republicans. This was long before the full scope of the FBI's Russia investigation was known to Trump and his aides. So, talking about this memo, Ladine wrote the memo, and his findings left a striking impression on Trump, per sources with direct knowledge. Okay, not a source of direct knowledge of the memo contents contained 4 sections building a case for why Liu was unfit for the job for the Treasury Secretary. Steve Mnuchin selected her, including not acting on criminal referrals of Justice Brett Kavanaugh's accusers, signing the sentencing filing asking for jail time for General Michael Flynn. Look at this. This is deep state stuff. Holding a leadership role in Women's Lawyers Networking Group. Not indicting former Deputy Director Andrew McCabe, and dismissing charges against violent inauguration protesters who plotted to disrupt the inauguration. So, between the lines, the memo is not the first such memo to reach the president's desk, and there's a common thread in Groundswell, a conservative activist network that's headed by Thomas and whose members include Ladine, which was mentioned before. So, Thomas spent a significant amount of time and energy urging Trump administration officials to change the personnel inside his government. This came to a head early last year. So, potential hires for Trump, per sources: Sheriff David Clark for senior Homeland Security role, Fox News regular and former Secret Service agent Dan Bongino, which I've seen him several times. He's very good. Devin Nunes aide Derek Harvey for the National Security Council. Radio talk host Chris Plante for press secretary. Federalist contributor Ben Weingarten for National Security Council. What we're hearing is These memos created tension inside the White House as people close to the president constantly told him his own staff, especially those running personnel, were undermining him. So, that is another thing that is happening. It's been very obvious. I'm not going to read the rest of this, but there's some deep state stuff. People there's some undermining of Trump all along. Okay, here's another article. Trump acknowledges disloyal, acknowledges a list of disloyal government officials to oust. What he's saying is, I think it's a big problem. I don't think it's very many people. Trump said during a press conference in India, of course this was a while ago, members of this network that Trump to shape who he said and should not trust. Let's see, Trump's Senate acquittal aide said the president has crossed. I already read that. Sorry about that. Let's go to the right-wing influencers. And this is what I'm really wanting to get to with this coronavirus happening. There's something that I don't feel good about. Anthony saying Fauci is working with Hillary Clinton to undermine Donald Trump. Journalists at BuzzFeed, the right-wing influencers and QAnon supporters are waging an information war against Anthony Fauci, the director of the National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Diseases, top-ranking member of the White House task force. Followers of the QAnon conspiracy theory, it says that President Trump is waging a secret war against a global criminal organization, and they have spent much of the COVID-19 outbreak struggling to fit the disease into their narrative. See, this is what's been going on behind the scenes. In recent days, speculations have settled on Fauci, and radio host Bill Mitchell has been the biggest promoter of this latest theory. For weeks, Mitchell has been spinning a conspiracy theory that Fauci is a Democrat plant and nicknamed him Dr. Fear Porn. And I'll tell you what, there's something about him I do not like. So, that's just wanted to give you that. I know I don't have a whole lot on this, this video, but I'm going to leave the links to these articles in the video. Thank you for watching. I'll try to dig up some better stuff for the next video. Thank you for watching. We will catch you on the next video. Be sure to subscribe and share.